What do 23 states and the District of Columbia all have in common? I'm sure they have several things in common, but today I'm going to tell you about one thing that I know all of them have in common and that I find very important. They all have some sort of laws that is trying to legalize marijuana. Some are already legalized, some are just in the process, and some are at the very end of beginning to legalize it. But in the end, they're all trying to make it legal. I could go on to list many reasons as to why I think marijuana should be legalized, but I'm going to talk about the three I find most important. First, it's going to help boost the economy. The crime rates and the danger in the United States would go down, and last, it would help those who are chronically ill. To begin with, boosting the economy. Marijuana today is known as the nation's #1 cash crop. Surprisingly, marijuana sells more than wheat and corn combined. Several of these states that are working on laws to legalize pot have marijuana as their leading cash crop. The tax revenue increases with the legalization of marijuana. We'd be gaining way more money than we ever have before because marijuana is taxed when it's produced, sold, and bought. This is how the tax revenue would be increasing. It goes through 3 different processes. Colorado is one of the few states that has legalized marijuana already. Colorado gained $610 million in just 5 months after it had been legalized. This goes to show the United States just how much more money would come in. I feel as though this would benefit society. Even if people do not agree with the smoking of marijuana for recreational purposes or medical purposes, they should want to increase the economy. This would help everyone. The extra money that was once used on fighting marijuana now can be used on something else. One example of this would be the money can go towards health care that is needed for those less fortunate. The U.S. is always in need of money, and with the legalization of marijuana being created and all the taxes will be coming in, we'd receive a lot more money. Number 2, the crime rates and danger in the United States would go down. Crime rates in Denver and Amsterdam went down when marijuana was legalized. Murders, assaults, rape, and burglaries declined. This is only 4 of the many different crimes that went down in Denver. Amsterdam has a very low crime rate because of the use of recreational marijuana had been legalized. With the U.S. legalizing marijuana, we would be opening up the doors to many different opportunities, but we would also have something in common with some other countries that has already legalized it. The U.S. spends millions of dollars trying to keep the use of marijuana down and off the streets. But with it being legalized, there'd be no reason for the U.S. to spend extra money on the crimes that happen on the streets because the people would be able to get marijuana legally and less crimes would happen because of this. The black market's profit and even existence would decrease. For years and years, we've heard about how Mexico and all the deaths that have been created because of this black market. I mean, marijuana isn't the only drug that would need to be legalized for this to occur, but marijuana is a huge part of it. America would not have to buy from people in the black market since the U.S. is a major contributor to the black market. It would eventually go away since we would not be supporting them. According to the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, the Mexican drug cartels make 60% of more, if not more, of their income from selling illegally to the United States. This has been going on for years. If we cut down their ability to make this profit, then there would be less than 50% income available. Even with the less income, they would have as many resources to use because they wouldn't have the income coming in. The FBI found that they are distributing to 230 American citizens across the nation. Billions of citizens. Number 3, this would help those who are chronically ill. People use marijuana for many different reasons and different sicknesses. They can range from cancer to the average headache. Many people use it to relieve pain. Complex regional pain syndrome and reflex sympathetic dystrophy is a common illness that the only way the pain can be relieved is by marijuana. There's no cure for these diseases, but marijuana is the only thing that will relieve the pain. Medicines of all kinds of sorts don't even help. Even the relief doesn't last for long periods of time. Personally, I know a woman who has these diseases. She says that when she goes to the bathroom, it feels like glass is coming out of her. The only thing that can help her is the smoking of marijuana. So she goes to Colorado very often and she does this. It's not fair for her to have to waste all the money to fly to Colorado just so she doesn't have to be illegal. It's quite ridiculous. She could be saving money and spending it on how to make her better, but instead she's having to fly to Colorado just so she can relieve some of the pain. In conclusion, with the evidence above, I believe America is fighting a fight that we cannot win. In the end, people are going to smoke marijuana if they want to. So in the end, we would end up with more money if we legalized and taxed marijuana. They are also stimulating a huge monopoly by not legalizing marijuana in the United States. This in turn is giving Mexico more power that we could have. It's all about world power in the end, right? So many innocent people have lost their lives from the Mexican drug cartels. It only makes sense to authorize marijuana and end this war.